Hello YouTube, this is Chris Strickland here, and you are in my alone zone. And it's Monday, November 26th, I believe. And I'm outside. It's nice, my perfect day, weather-wise. Dark, cloudy, windy, cool, and there's a light little drizzle in the air. Hey, I like it. I'm outside. Makes me, feel good. And the good news about this week for me, and I love this, the weather like this is, you might think I'm stupid for liking weather like this. Heck, I know some of you probably live right now. You're going to have the nor'easter come your way for the holiday, Thanksgiving. I know it's going to sweep through Texas with icy conditions, and it's going to sweep up through here. It's going to bring a lot of rain here, and then it's going to sweep up the eastern seaboard, and it's going to be a nor'easter. So I really do sympathize, but I like this kind of weather. This is my weather. Living in Florida, I don't know how I've done it. I mean, this is where I was born, no money to move, but it's so hot here, warm all the time, that I lavish this weather. So I guess if you live in those regions where it's more cold than warm, you're lavishing warm weather. So that's why, I enjoy this type of weather. And for me, it's going to be cool again tomorrow with the bulk of the rain coming in tonight, tomorrow, and Wednesday morning. And then when that front pushes through, it's Wednesday here in Pensacola, which is rare for November, which is rare any part of any winter. The temperature expected high for Wednesday is only going to be 45 degrees with the wind chills in the 30s. And you might call me crazy for enjoying that, but when you've been around hot weather all your life, you relish the cold weather. I enjoy it, so it kind of helps me and it peps me up. Alright, I was welcomed into a community on Facebook, and the YouTube community welcomed me, the social anxiety community, and I appreciate Zach for setting it up and inviting me and welcoming me in. And anyone else that welcomed me in, I appreciate it. It's nice to feel like I'm maybe turning a corner. The whole goal in the beginning of this was to hopefully meet someone, start some online friendships, and who knows, maybe one day take it a little bit further as far as, maybe one day we can meet up and hang out. Online friendship is real. To me, it means a lot, especially, and I'm going to say this, and I'm not going to mean any, offense to anyone and in the community or anything like that, but it's quite possible that I'm the only one in the community with absolute zero friends. Real life friends rather. I don't hang out with anybody. I don't go anywhere. I don't go to movies. I don't go to sporting events. I don't go out to eat. I don't go anywhere with anyone. I don't go bowling, shoot pool, play darts, paintballing, any of that stuff. It's always me all the time, 24/7. It's me. The only time I'm around people is when I'm in a grocery store or when I go to the clinic in the morning or my doctor and such. So it is legitimately possible, and if I'm wrong, if anyone else in the community also has zero real life friends, I'd like to meet you. I'd like to talk to you. Let's talk. So I belong. I feel like if there's any type of community for social anxiety, without me, you can't. I mean, I'm not trying to sound like conceited or anything, but I'm the master of social anxiety and depression, even though I'm just a nobody from Pensacola, Florida, just started this thing. I'm a very, very good candidate for, speaking out and speaking up about this horrible disease that has just stolen my life from me. It manifested. I was born with it, and so it manifested itself over the years as, situations arose. It just got worse and worse. I know I was predisposed to it, but I like to believe had not been rejected so much, had I not been put down so much and made to feel like a nobody, it might have not gotten as bad as it did. But it's terrible. The last time that I ever hung out with anyone on a type of social basis was when I was 12 years old. I am 31 and going to be 32 next June. 20 years since I went anywhere with any other people that you could quote unquote call friends. What kind of life is that? So this is why for me online friendship is going to be tremendous, and the goal from the start was to, one, encourage and help other people in this condition, in this position, speak out. And 2, meet people, make some online friendships to possibly one day meet and have a real life friendship. And the ultimate, number 3, to meet a female, hopefully fall in love and live the dream of love. I was just in Walmart. They got the holiday music going. Everybody's getting in the spirit. You got the shopping going on. People buying food. People going ahead and stocking up on early Black Friday deals. And I'm just walking around there, and I don't know why I do it. I put myself in these positions. I didn't really need to go to Walmart today, but I felt like, doing something a little more today than what I normally do. And I put myself in this position, and I'm walking around Walmart and just see so many, beautiful women, and wondering, God, and to me, beauty comes all shapes, sizes, all forms. I do not discriminate. So, all women are beautiful in their own way. So I just walk around in there, and I'm like, damn, why me? Well, why can't I find, my mate, my soulmate? I honestly and I do this to myself all the time, and especially around the holidays. If you watch my last year videos around the holidays, I cried on camera, and that was as real as it's going to get with me. And I'm not embarrassed or afraid to admit it, and I will never take that video down. So that's just how it is. I'm not going to do that in this video, but I do feel like I'm holding back. When I start thinking about this, like the tears do well up, and it makes no sense. The holiday season especially is to be with loved ones, to be with friends. It's just that time of year. And I've never experienced. I don't know what a true and look, let me tell you one thing. I'm not the only one in the world that's going through this. Of course not. And there are people worse off than me that don't have a home, that no family, no place to live, or sleeping under a bridge, are going to be out in this cold because the homeless shelters, there's one, not enough of them, and 2, they're so packed. And the problem I have with that is, I understand there's fire codes and stuff, but when it's cold and it's the holidays, even if your shelter is packed to the brim, a homeless person will gladly ball up in the smallest space on the floor just to be out of the elements, just to be, warm. And this is not the video for this. I mean, there's so many other topics I'm going to discuss as I continue, and I've got however long I want to do this. Homelessness is like a big thing that I'm passionate about, and I really wish that my social anxiety and depression would not limit me so severely from going to a soup kitchen or going to a homeless shelter and helping out. I so badly desire wanting to do that, but with the social anxiety, if you people with social anxiety know what I'm talking about, for me it's crippling. I can only go where I'm comfortable, and if I try to step out of my element, which is what I need to do to succeed. But the thing for me is, I wish there was a way I could build a get to know the people that work the soup kitchen ahead of time, somehow, some way, maybe via the internet, via the phone. Just talk to them a few times, and then it would be a little more comfortable for me to step in. See, that's the thing for me with this online friendship thing. I'm going to have to talk with you online. I'm going to have conversations with you, maybe on the phone, maybe just through Facebook or whatever. And then once I build a little comfort, if there ever come a time where we can hang out in real life, it will be much easier for me, even with the social anxiety factor. But I would love to go and just help. And I always told myself, man, if I ever am in a position with money, the one thing I'm going to do, I don't even care about taking care of myself. The first thing, I'm going to take care of my grandmother if she's still alive. I'm going to give her as much money as she needs to enjoy the rest of her life, no worries. Second thing, money is going to buy property. I see so many old buildings, old hotels, old 3-4 story buildings in the downtown area, whatever, that could be bought, that could be renovated rather cheaply at a reasonable price. And for a homeless shelter, it doesn't need to be all fancy and fandangled. You need rooms, you need beds, you need, one, the electricity's got to be good. You got to have good wiring, all that stuff. 2, you got to have the roof, make sure it's all good. And then 3, build a functioning kitchen so you can feed them. But then 4, set the rooms up just a basic, cots, simple cots, maybe even just sleeping bags, just something basic. And if I ever had the money, I would buy as many buildings as I could possibly afford, and I would renovate them, and I would make them 100% homeless shelters, because I just don't understand why in this country we allow people to be homeless. We're in America, the land of the free, the home of the brave. We're supposed to be the most glorious nation in this earth. And there's so many people that are forgotten. People with diseases like me, people with much worse illnesses, homeless people, people that are poor and shunned away. And I could go on and on about people who are forgotten. And yes, I know I could go to the soup kitchen and that would help tremendously. At least I'd be doing something. But I would never, with my anxiety, I just explain that, and then I would never think I'm doing enough. For me, I want to see results. And this is what I don't understand. Why counties, city governments, whatever, don't take these tax dollars, don't set aside some type of tax fund, because, with your tax money, they divide it up into certain things that the city takes care of, roads, and improvement, on that front, and improving, downtown businesses and whatever. The money sets up and goes into funds, and I'm not going to get political here, but why can't they set aside a fund for the less fortunate, the homeless? Because it's not just single people who are homeless, and it's not a bunch of drunk people, druggies. There are homeless families. There are single women who don't have, a husband or a boyfriend, and they've got kids, and they're living on the streets. And vice versa, there are single men living in their freaking car with their children. What kind of life is that? When we, as a country, in these cities, can't set aside some fund with the tax dollars to go to buying old abandoned buildings, renovating them, and making them homeless shelters. There's just not enough places for these people. And it just bothers me, And I know, this is why I'm talking about this, because I know there are other people that are far worse off than me, and I would love to just be in a position to help someone else. For me, at this point in my life, I may be a lost cause, I may be forgotten, but I just wish I had the mental capacity, the willpower, the desire, and the finances to help someone in need like that. And the reason why I'm so big on it, I don't think I've talked about this, but I had a grandfather, and he ended up homeless. He couldn't control his alcohol, and this is why I'm not a drinker. I don't drink, even though, hey, I'm no saint. I use drugs. I never drank alcohol that often. I drank alcohol maybe 3 or 4 times in my life. I hated it, didn't like it. So I'm no saint. I've used drugs, but this is why I don't like alcohol. Because this man, I didn't know much of him. I knew him enough, but he taught me, basically he had me reading, writing, he had me counting up to thousands. He taught me everything I needed to know before I started my schooling. And this is why in elementary school I was always the head of the class, the top of the line. This is before, like I said, the transition into middle school, when people changed and life changed and everything in my world just collapsed. I used to enjoy school. Even though I had a little anxiety and I did like to be alone, if I was enjoying something like at school, I was into it. I was enjoying it. Elementary school was an amazing time. That's what I'm saying. I go way back. So that's the last time I was truly happy. I started middle school at 12 years old, and boom, everything just went out the door. But what I'm trying to say is my grandfather, he loved me, and he was there, but alcohol was the death of him. And my grandmother and I do get onto her a lot when I think about him. But at the same time, he was abusive. She couldn't handle it, and she had to kick him out. And he could never get it together, and he ended up dying on the streets, a homeless man. However, he was a veteran of the Korean War. He was a veteran of the early part. When the Vietnam War first started, I think he served like a year. And he was dishonorably discharged, and I don't know the details of that. But he was a veteran, and I don't care if he was dishonorably discharged or not. He still served this country. He still fought for this country. Now, whatever he did was minor. And so he could never get any help or any assistance or anything like that. And there's nothing I could do. I was too young. And he just drank himself to death, and he ended up dying on the corner. I think his liver failed, and he just died like that. And that's ridiculous. So I feel as though had you know, he would have been, and the alcohol is one thing, but I feel as though if maybe there was more places he could have went for help, it wouldn't have happened, and he might have been able to turn himself around. But there's not a lot of places here for the homeless people and people like that. So, and even alcoholics. I mean, there's really, in Pensacola, I mean, there are support groups, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think there's enough. You know what I mean? I don't think there's enough going on. And plus, being a drug addict, I would know. There's not enough groups in this. Like I said, we have the Lakeview Center, and I discussed it in my last video, but there's just not enough. I don't think there's enough, honestly. You know, one group a month is not going to help an alcoholic or a druggie. You need more, you know, support than that. So, I know I'm rambling and I'm all off topic, but I just feel like talking. You know, this is my outlet, and I'll stress it enough. And, you know, my mission here is just to overcome. At the end of the day, I can talk about everything I talk about, but I've got to overcome myself. It's going to be a rough road. It's going to be hard, but you don't know how good I felt the other day. I think it was Saturday when I was welcomed into the social anxiety community, and I was actually having conversations with Zach and another guy. I can't think of his name right now, but he's from Europe, the UK. We had a good conversation, and essentially, I just felt so good Saturday just doing that, and I don't know, just it felt like, wow, I'm actually communicating. And the whole, like, one of the goals, like I said, was to meet people and start communicating with this thing. And I feel like maybe I'm turning a corner, and I just hope it doesn't, you know, end up bad for me. I hope it doesn't end up with me, you know, failing. You know, hopefully I can make something out of this, and that's the goal here, you know. I would love like I said, I've said this before, I'd love to take you guys at the beginning of my videos when I told my life story, bits and pieces of it, and through the journey, maybe one day you will actually see me have real life friends, actually hanging out, and then maybe one day even have a love interest. Speaking of that, I'm going to touch this at the end here. Methadone clinic. Yes, I'm on the methadone clinic, and I don't understand. I think I revealed that in the past, but apparently some people don't like it. Let me tell you why I'm there. I went there to get off the street drugs. I was using Loratabs. I was using up to 10 Loratab 10s a day. I was snorting Oxycontins and cocaine, and I needed to get, you know, off of that street stuff. So I went to the methadone clinic, and they welcomed me in. I get doctor's visits, I get counseling, and I get a medicine. Now, I'm telling you, I know methadone is terrible. It's just another drug, but it doesn't get me high. And if anything, it actually helps my depression slightly. For a couple hours a day, I feel a little bit better. I wish it lasted longer. I'm not an advocate for methadone. It's a terrible thing. It's not a good answer, truly. But for me, with weak-minded as I am, I had to do it. I'm in a controlled environment. I'm being looked over. I'm being monitored, and I'm not using the illegal stuff. I'm not doing the street stuff, and it's actually keeping me a little bit consistent. It gives me a reason to get up and go out. If not, I wouldn't go anywhere ever. I'd stay in my house all the time. Look, I know methadone is a terrible thing. It's bad for me health-wise and body-wise, but it's helping me a little enough. Because, like I said, if I wasn't on it, I would be probably dead by now. The amount of street, you know, dope I was doing. And, you know, to anyone out there going through this, don't turn to drugs. Don't do what I did. I'm going to stress this. You do not want to turn to drugs. It is not the answer. I regret ever taking that first pain pill I stole from my grandmother when I was 14. I regret everything, every drug I've ever taken. And I regret being on the methadone clinic. But it's better than my other options. And I will. I'm already in the beginning stages of talking about getting off of it. But the reason I don't want to get off of it yet is because I'm scared. I'm not in a place, I don't have any support group. I don't have, like I said, I'm not in a place to where I feel like I can actually quit right now. I do feel, however, if I can start getting the wheels rolling, making friends, getting a little support system in place, that I can get off of it, because I won't need it anymore. because I'm scared to death to get off of it now, because I'm afraid I'm still in that place in life where I'm afraid I'll retreat back to the street stuff, the street dope, and I don't want to do that. I'm being real, I'm being open, I'm being honest. If you don't want to subscribe to me anymore, if you don't want to watch my videos, if you don't want to talk to me because I take a methadone dose every day, that's your business, and I can't fault you for that. I'm just telling you, understand why I'm doing it. Understand that, it's something, and I'll get more into my drug past. I'll detail that a little bit better than I have in other videos. But just know that it doesn't make me a worse person because I'm taking methadone. I'm still me, I'm still real, I'm still open, I'm still honest, I'm still that guy from Pensacola that's a nobody suffering with social anxiety, chronic depression, and a lifelong struggle that just wants to make friends and wants to be accepted. Methadone makes me no worse of a person, and it's your choice if you don't want to talk to me anymore. I can't stop you, that's your business. But just know, I know it's bad, I know it's not good, but it's doing enough for me to warrant me doing it. So just understand that. And hopefully one day again I can show you my journey of me finally overcoming, having friends, maybe even having a girl, and then getting off of this methadone stuff and actually not being able to need to retreat to self-medication. So that's it, that's all. It's been my conversation today, a little bit. I like to keep them around 20 minutes, that's just me. And yeah, again, thanks to Zach and thanks to everyone else that welcomed me in. You're a cool dude, man. I watched a lot of your videos lately. I really apologize for not subbing to you sooner. I told you this the other day. I apologize because I had no idea that my videos inspired you to start talking about your struggles with anxiety. For whatever reason, when I went on the 9-month hiatus, I didn't think nobody was watching or even cared. So that was I guess my mind was playing tricks on me. I don't know. But I just felt like I wasn't going anywhere. There's no point to continue doing it. And then I was like, you know what? I missed making videos. Let's go back. And then I talked to you and find out that, wow, I might have helped you to start, opening up and talking about your problems. And I feel so bad for one, not subbing to you, and two, not really knowing that, hey, you were watching me before. If I had known that, maybe I would have never stopped. If I had known there was somebody that actually, because I just wasn't feeling that people were really watching or even caring. And maybe I was wrong. Maybe I just wasn't seeing it. Maybe my mind was blocking stuff out. But I'm just glad that I might have influenced somebody. So, and hopefully many more to come. Hopefully I meet more people. Hopefully I expand. Hopefully, this turns out to be great. I would love to have that support system. And even if it's online, does not matter. It's somebody, hey, it'd be nice to have somebody that if I need someone to talk to on the real, I can call you up, maybe. Or I can get on the Facebook and chat you up. Or, if I really need somebody to, hey, I can do that. There's people out there that know me now. Even though you don't know me in real life, you've watched my videos, you've listened to my pain, you've heard my voice, you've seen my face. And now you're willing to, hey, now you want to be there for me when I need you, as far as like somebody to talk to, in a time of need. So to all my viewers, to all my subscribers, to everyone who welcomed me in, again, thank you. I appreciate it. It's going to help me tremendously. I just hope, you know how my mind works. I just hope it doesn't end up with more rejection, because that's the last thing I need. But I got a good feeling about this. I really do. This might be the beginning of something great. So again, that's it. That's all. You've been in my alone zone. This is Chris Strickland, and I'm out. Peace.